Hey there, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. It'll probably be Saturday by the time you see this, and the video that I'm going to do today is actually a VR for J23A45Y cards. I'll have his link in the description. And essentially, in his video, I believe it's the second video that he posted. So if you go to his channel, check out his second video, it'll show the details. But he went over several players that he had shown. It was 5 different players, actually. And he had some interesting cards and or different pieces that represented said player or the team that they were on. And essentially, the VR is, if you wish to do so, to show something, a card or whatnot, that represents the particular player. The players that he had shown were Clayton Kershaw, Miguel Cabrera, Rollie Fingers, Vladimir Guerrero Sr., and Bryce Harper. In addition to that, the teams that he has shown represented can be used as an alternate method. But yeah, definitely check that out. And yeah, we're going to just jump into it right here. So what I attempted to do, something a little different. I chose the 5 players, and the first player I chose was Kershaw, Clayton Kershaw there. I took these out of the sheets and out of the top loaders just to make it a little bit easier to see. And I do believe it's on the 2011 Allen and Gint. I'll bring it a little closer up, make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. And then also, I wanted to have an early year card of the player, but also a later year card of the player. And this, of course, is the 2026 75th anniversary tops of Clayton Kershaw. And one of the things I love most about this card and the player is just how clean that is. Full-on Dodgers across the board. And yeah, I just think that's awesome, man. When a player can stick with one team for their full 18-year career, that says something.
In the Dodger pen. And here comes Dave Roberts. He calls to the bullpen for Clayton Kershaw. The 1-0 to Murphy. And he pops it up to the right side. Culberson, 2 out. Nationals down to their final out. The Los Angeles Dodgers are headed to Chicago.
And the next awesome player that we'll talk about today is Miguel Cabrera. Now, this card I happened to get randomly. This was back in around probably 2000, yeah, somewhere around there, 2000, 2001, maybe even late 99. And it was a box of cards that I had gotten from Toys R Us. I was commuting, and there was a Toys R Us over on the South Shore where I worked. And yeah, oftentimes on Fridays, I would go over there, pick up a box, and the boxes would have a random assortment of various packs, old and recent. And I just so happened to pull this Cabrera, and I think it's 2001. Yeah, 2001, so that was probably when I got it, 2001. And that's the Royal Rookies Cabrera card. I just thought was really cool. And I came upon this card later, actually. I want to say probably it had been in a box for years before he was, I mean, he came out of the gate, essentially, as an awesome player. But, you know, before we knew exactly what he was capable of, it was sitting in a box for years. So I have that, his first card, which I absolutely love. And then this card of Miguel Cabrera, which was actually given to me, such a beautiful card, by John over at JF Kelly's Cave. Such a nice card. And this one here, you know, his last year was 2023. Now, it shows the 22 stats, but this is a 2023 card, and I think that was quite fitting. So we have his early card and his, if you will, one of his last cards.
Swinging a drive to left field. Way back. That ball is up. And it's gone. A grand slam. It's a grand slam for Cabrera. His second home run of the night.
He may have just put an exclamation point on the MVP award.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your Triple Crown winner
The
in
big man.
2012,
Miguel Cabrera.
He's on his way to the Triple Crown, and Jim Leyland has taken him out of this game to give him a chance to kind of take his bow, and that's...
So another player that we're going to talk about is Rollie Fingers, and the earliest Rollie Fingers that I have is the 1978 Topps card there when he was with the Padres. He was with the A's previously, and I like these old cards. It always gives a little bit of info. Rollie's 35th save of 1977 came versus the Reds, September 27th, as Padres won 3-1. I like the little, sometimes left jokes and whatnot on the various cards. So that's the 78 Topps. And then his last card that I have is the 1986. 85 was his last year playing. So here's the 86 card on the Brewers. And I remember as a young kid, just being a little troublemaking whippersnapper. When we first came across Rollie Fingers, my friends and I were like, Rollie Fingers? What kind of a name is that? And look at him. Looks like he plays in a circus. We were rotten kids. I wasn't that bad of a kid, but so is said. However, yeah, once I found out about Rollie Fingers, a little later on and realized, man, this guy is for real. Phenomenal career, legendary player, of course. And there is a third card. I'm making a little exception here for Rollie. So I had to show this. It's a Sportflix, and I just love this particular Sportflix card. Everything from this little border, like the black and white that just kind of does that dance, to the image, the early image there of Rollie Fingers on the A's, I just think is great. And I'll just have that there in case you guys want to snapshot it and read it. But yeah, the Kellogg's Corn Flakes, Rollie Fingers Sportflick card. And I took these, as I mentioned earlier, out of the little top loaders and whatnot, and penny sleeves. I will put them
Rollie Fingers, on his way to the World Series Most Valuable Player Award. Needs just 3 outs, and he can settle back into the driver's seat of a brand new automobile. Ron Cey flies out to the edge of the warning track, and Fingers breathes a sigh of relief. Willie Crawford pops up to Dick Green for the second out. Von Joshua represents the Dodgers' last chance. Rollie Fingers wraps it up, and the Oakland Coliseum explodes into ecstasy as the Oakland A's capture their 3rd successive World Championship.
The second to last is Vladdy G. Sr. And this, I think, is my favorite Vladdy G. Sr. card. It's on the 1997 Collector's Choice. It's technically his rookie card, and it's called Toast of the Town. Vladimir Guerrero. It's got that little Expos embroidery there on the bottom right. And you can see Vladimir made his Major League debut last September after starring at Class AA Harrisburg in '96. His .360 average was the highest posted by any Class AA or Class AAA player in 1996. Give some statistics there. And then the only, I guess the most recent, I should say, which really surprised me, Vladimir card, is this one. Now, I do like it a lot. This is the 2000 Ovation, and I absolutely love the texture. It almost feels like the threading of the baseball, the stitches, and the white. It doesn't feel exactly like a baseball, of course, but it has that texture feel, and I thought that was a really cool touch on the set. You can see the indentation on the back there. And I mean, just look at his stats. Out of the gate, guy was an absolute legend. And it's so cool today seeing his son play. I absolutely love it. But because I had taken a break for so long in the 2000s, yeah, this is the most recent Vladdy G. Sr. that I have.
Here's the pitch. There's a swing, and that is gapped into right center field. Over to cut it off is Guerrero. Here comes the throw in, and Castillo slides. He's out at the plate. The only chance Castillo thought he had was to slide to the back of the plate, try to hit it with his hand, but that's a pretty good gun out there named Vladimir Guerrero, and he had him dead to rights.
Yeah, more like a cannon, to tell you the truth. He ended up picking up that ball after a high hop. I was just getting ready to say that throw's a little bit too high. He threw the ball all the way on the fly to home plate to get the sliding Castillo. Actually, got him by plenty. No chance.
No chance.
And then last but not least, Bryce Harper. So Bryce Harper is another situation kind of similar to Vladdy G. I'll show. So this one here, it's a recent card. I think this is 2024. Let's see, what is this? Yep, 2024 Topps. And I mean, it's cool. It's basically a 1961 Topps throwback with the black border. A little off-centered there, as you can see. And there's an original 61 Joe Adcock that I have. But yeah, so I chose him as one. And then as far as, I guess one would say the most recent card, I do have some 2026, but this one I think is a 25? No, it's also a 24. Good old Allen and Ginter, and it's on the shiny chrome. I really like that card of Bryce Harper.
Harper turns on this ball, sends it in the air to deep right field. Wagaman back and goodbye. Bryce Harper puts the Phillies on the board with a home run.
Well, that's the part of the field where you'll be able to get a home run, especially if it's high in the air. It's going to carry out. To left field, you're going to have to hit a line drive.
Well, you said you can't play with this lineup like that behind, and Harper makes him pay with his 16th of the year. 213 as a Philly. And now Harper scalds one through the middle into right center field. Rounds and heads for second. Wagaman's throw is offline, and Harper's got a double. 2 for 2, homer and a double for Harper. Harper has another hit, and this is ridiculous. Harper is 3 for 3, and by the way, here in the third inning, Harper homer double single. Myers in the same deal that brought him tonight's starter, Freddie Peralta. Harper to left center field, headed for the gap, and it's headed for the wall. He's at least going to get 2. We got to try for 3, don't you? Here he goes, looking for the cycle. It'll depend on how they score it. Harper into third with what looks like it's going to be a triple and the cycle.
Yeah, guys, this is, again, a VR for J23A45Y cards. And I will have his link in the description. Go check him out. It's on his second video, which gives the information regarding the VR. Sub him up. Mention that Speed Racer sent you, please. I'd really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Pick a card, any card.